Alright, so for this video, I'm going to be covering a fight from part 5 and one of the best in my opinion, Bucciarati's gang versus Cioccolata and Secco. For a quick rundown of the events that occurred prior to this encounter, the gang received a message from a mystery person asking them to meet in the Colosseum in Rome. This person reveals the boss's stand ability in order to gain the gang's trust and tells them that if they come to Rome, they can harness the power of a stand arrow in order to defeat the boss. At the same time, Doppio receives a call from the boss, ordering him to track down and intercept the gang. He also informs him that he will hire Cioccolata and Secco in order to take care of the gang. We cut to these two drunk-ass guys in Rome looking for a bathroom to use. One of them ends up taking a piss into a mailbox, and man, I would be livid if my mail arrived covered in piss. Suddenly, as the mailbox pisser is dragging the other drunk man away from a water fountain he's attached to, we see that the other man's top half of his body has literally been detached from his lower half, along with a green substance covering him. The mailbox pisser panics and jumps over the ledge, and his lower body disintegrates instantly after making contact with the floor. Mista wastes no time pulling out his gun, but then he spots that same green substance covering his hand. We get a little backstory on Cioccolata and Secco, and let me tell y'all, the things Cioccolata used to do in the past are nothing short of horrifying. Kill him now. During his youth, Cioccolata volunteered to take care of older people. Aw, how sweet, just a young boy being a good person. However, while taking care of them, he would whisper horrible things to these poor people, such as, your family hates you and nobody will ever come visit you, eventually driving 8 elderly folks to suicide. But wait, it doesn't end there. Cioccolata would then record the expressions these people made after he told them those horrific things. Driving old people to suicide apparently wasn't enough for the sick individual though. He eventually became a doctor and would diagnose healthy patients as sick and operated on them, purposefully administering low amounts of anesthesia so the patients would wake up in the middle of their operation, killing several of these patients as well. Secco was one of Cioccolata's patients, and for unknown reasons, he became his partner, only following Cioccolata's orders. Anyways, Narancia uses Aerosmith to scout the area in an attempt to find the stand user, but fails to do so since the enemy stand, in this case Cioccolata, is the entire village. He tries to retreat back onto the boat, but his body is immediately covered in that green substance as well. Thanks to Mista's enormous brain and high IQ, he's able to figure out how Cioccolata's stand, Green Day, works. When a person moves to a lower position from where they originally were, the stand attacks and covers their body with green mold that disintegrates their body. My goat, Mista, is able to shoot the boat's engine, blowing it up and launching Narancia as well as those inside the turtle, yes, there are people inside the turtle, back onto the shore. Besides being full of evil, Cioccolata and Secco are just genuine weirdos. Secco captured Narancia's look of despair on a camera, and Cioccolata rewards him by petting him like a dog as well as giving him 3 sugar cubes as a treat. Mista and Bucciarati decide to look for the user on foot when the staircase they're on suddenly starts sinking into the ground, with Bucciarati literally sinking into the concrete. Once again, Mista saves the day and uses a traffic sign to pull both of them up. They both begin to sink again and make a desperate run, but Secco, who is the one causing all of this, attacks them. His stand, Oasis, literally lets him swim in concrete, which is an extremely bizarre ability, but a pretty cool one if I do say so myself. Bucciarati is able to outsmart Secco, luring him to come out of the concrete and then hitting him with a stand barrage. Secco retreats and genuinely starts freaking out over his injured face. He calls Cioccolata and starts blabbering about Notorious B.I.G., but then he mentions that there wasn't any mold that grew on Bucciarati. Very strange. Bucciarati and his gang are able to escape out of the village in a car, and Bucciarati is being awfully quiet in there when Mista brings up the encounter. Giorno offers to heal Bucciarati's injured wrist, and after receiving no response, Giorno notices that Bucciarati doesn't have a pulse and his skin is cold. And then it's revealed that Bucciarati is in fact dead. His life ended back when the boss punched a hole through him, and the life force that Giorno's gold experience gave him is what's keeping him going, although it's starting to fade away. A dead body is suddenly dropped onto the car from a helicopter, causing them to swerve out of control and crash. Bucciarati is able to get him out of the situation with his zippers, and we see that the mold is being spread throughout the whole city of Rome, killing a bunch of people instantly. Secco dives down from the helicopter in order to attack the gang, and Cioccolata begins to head towards the Colosseum in order to take care of whoever the gang was trying to meet. Giorno is able to infuse his stand's ability into the bullets in Mista's gun, creating tree roots that bind around the helicopter, halting Cioccolata's escape. The trio split up, leaving Bucciarati to deal with Secco, while Mista and Giorno head to take care of Cioccolata. Bucciarati vs Secco is immediately proving to be a mismatch, since Secco's ability allows him to greatly outspeed and outpower Bucciarati's sticky finger. We cut to Giorno and Mista, who have made it near the helicopter. Mista fires his stand into the helicopter, but they're unable to find Cioccolata since he has disappeared somewhere within the helicopter. Suddenly, number 2 and number 3 are brutally murdered. Number 1 is left in shock, and then number 6 and 7 warn him to leave the helicopter before being destroyed as well. Mista receives the feedback from this and is rendered unable to fight as a result of his injuries, leaving Giorno and number 5 to take Cioccolata on together. I feel the need to mention how much I love Mista's stand, Sex Pistols. Besides just being a generally cool power, they're also so cute. Giorno enters the helicopter and is immediately ambushed by Cioccolata. He's able to hit him with a right hook straight to the gut. But then this absolute freak literally severs his body off from the part that Giorno punched, fleeing with his spine literally hanging out. This is disgusting, man. He's literally flopping around like a fish. And even though he's looking like Mr. Potato Head, he's still able to control his limbs, since apparently that's what being a surgeon lets you do. And then for some reason, the animators want to show his spine wiggling around like a worm. Like, bro, ew, we're not trying to see that. Cioccolata is trying his hardest to push Giorno off the helicopter, eventually stitching his body back together in an instant and hitting Giorno with a stand barrage, sending him flying. Number 5 is able to kick a bullet through Giorno into the helicopter and lets him create a tree root connected to the helicopter, saving him from death by mold. Giorno hops on and sprints back towards the helicopter, but Cioccolata lowers it just a bit, creating mold on the tree root and causing Giorno to fall off. It's looking like Giorno's about to die, but the tree root that Cioccolata's stand destroyed reverts back to a bullet, shooting right through his head and deactivating Green Day. Giorno catches himself on the side of the building, and although number 5 celebrates the win, Giorno doesn't believe it's over yet. Cioccolata lays there, seeming to have actually died from the bullet wound. Giorno begins climbing back up towards his body, and Cioccolata reveals he's actually alive, as well as having taken Mista and the turtle hostage. Suddenly, the bullet that was inside Cioccolata's head turns into a beetle, piercing a massive hole in his head. And then we get another one of the greatest JoJo sequences ever, the 7-page Mura Mura. And I'ma just let y'all watch it. After this majestic molly whooping, beautiful beating, terrific trashing, a phone starts ringing. It's Secco trying to call Cioccolata. Since he doesn't answer, I wonder why. Secco listens to his voice messages. It's just a bunch of gloating from Cioccolata, claiming he defeated Mista and has basically defeated Giorno. He promises Secco back scratches and sugar cubes once he's done. Yeah, about that. We cut to Secco getting ready to fight Bucciarati again when he receives another voice message from Cioccolata, this time telling him that he has ran into some trouble and relies on Secco to find the person they're meeting up with in the Coliseum. Surprisingly enough, Secco is not saddened by the news at all and calls Cioccolata weak and pathetic, then making a run towards the Coliseum. Bucciarati and Secco begin to brawl it out, when suddenly they both receive a signal from a man in a wheelchair with prosthetic legs in the Coliseum. They resume their brawl and Bucciarati lures Secco underground, using his zippers to make a run towards the Coliseum. Secco pursues him for a bit and believes he's about to catch him until he ends up in a small cave with a broken pipe. Since I didn't mention this earlier, I'm going to mention it now. But Secco uses sound to locate his targets while he's swimming in the ground. This allows Bucciarati to use it against him and tricks him into ending up at the wrong location. Secco then swims back to the surface and starts eating concrete. But as we see next, he actually spits it all up, and when it comes back down, it hardens again, piercing Bucciarati multiple times. We then cut to the mysterious person at the Coliseum, and then it's revealed who it is, and it turns out to be Polnareff. Oh my god, my goat is back. Now crippled, but hey, at least he's alive. Bucciarati can no longer withstand the rain of stone spears and makes a run for it, with Secco chasing him down immediately after. He's able to find him and cause an explosion around him, launching him out and back in underground. Secco thinks he has won and gets ready to pummel Bucciarati, until Bucciarati reveals his plan all along. He punches and blows up a tire that came down into the concrete with him. And you might be thinking, okay, he just blew up a tire, what's that supposed to do? Well, in case y'all didn't know, sound waves travel faster and are amplified in liquids due to the molecules within liquids being packed much more tightly. As a result, Secco's eardrums are blown up by the tire explosion. Bucciarati runs off once again, and although Secco pursues him, he ends up mistaking Bucciarati for a car and gets his leg ran over. As Bucciarati approaches him and gets ready to finish the fight, Secco finds and uses a hostage to protect himself, one who coincidentally turns out to be Doppio. It appears as if Bucciarati punched a hole through Doppio, but instead he created a zipper through him to get to Secco, creating a zipper in his throat. The fight ends with Secco fleeing into the garbage truck that Cioccolata ended up in after Giorno gave him that beatdown. Anyways, that's it for this video. Sorry for such a long delay, but I hope y'all enjoy something a little longer this time around. Alright, see y'all.
Every time I close my eyes, I wake up feeling so horny. I can't get you out of my mind. Sexing you be all I see. I would give anything just to make you understand me. I don't give a damn about nothing else. Freaking you is all I need.